everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monique. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already before we even get started on this video, girl, because you're gonna like this content. I wanted to welcome you all to the month of Loveuary. So this month we're gonna be celebrating love. As you know, it's February and Valentine's Day is coming up soon. We go into the stores, we see candies, flowers, teddy bears, the whole shebang is everywhere. And so I really wanted to dedicate this month to conversations about love, and whether that be loving yourself, loving other people, loving your family and friends, loving your wardrobe, loving your body. We just wanted, or rather, I just wanted to dedicate this particular series of videos to love. And so to kick off my Loveuary series, I'm going to be talking about self-love. And I feel like if anywhere, that's the best place to start when we're talking about love. And in regards to self-love, I wanted to talk about physical insecurities and some of the physical insecurities that I've struggled with growing up, and some that I even struggle with now, that I'm still working on. And by the grace of God, you know, I still see myself being perfected in and through him, but I also recognize that he's made me in his image. And so I know that I'm beautiful because God is love and he's beauty and he is beautiful. So as a reflection of him, by default, I am beautiful. So let's go ahead and jump right on into the video. Please, I hope that if you like already what you've seen, that you will stay to watch the rest. Hey guys, so today we're talking about physical insecurities, and I wrote down a couple of notes about what I wanted to talk about. So if you see me glancing, that's all it is. Just me looking at my notes and making sure that I get everything that I want to say out to you guys, because it's a really important topic. So self-love and insecurities that we sometimes got to work through. I was a very shy kid growing up, and I wasn't at all confident in my brown skin. I wasn't at all confident in my fuller lips. I wasn't at all confident in my hair texture or any of that. And oftentimes when I tell people my story about growing up and wanting to be white, wanting to be fair, wanting to have longer hair, they kind of look at me like, girl, you fly. Why? And looking back, I can understand where I was in that space, but I know that I'm in a completely different space now, and I love how I look. I appreciate how I look because I know that there's no one else that looks just like me, with the exception of my mom. But aside from that, I've really grown to love the skin that I'm in, love the way that I look, and appreciate everything about myself, because if I can't, then chances are no one else is going to be able to either. So with that said, I want to give you guys some tips and things that I started to do, and when I started to notice a change in myself and really wanting to start to love myself a little bit more and appreciate myself a little bit more and value myself a little bit more. And I would say that a pivotal age for me was definitely 24. And a part of it had to do with the attention that I was getting from guys. I won't lie. That initially was what prompted me to say, hey, you know, girl, you cute. But overall, I can look back at that time and realize that there was a confidence that I gained living so far away from home at that time, and having to stand on my own 2 feet and really be comfortable in my own skin. Because my confidence and my comfort in myself would allow for other people to feel confident and comfortable in their selves and their own skin around me. And so I'm very much of a person who dresses the way that I want. I present the parts of myself that I don't often vocalize by way of how I present myself on the outside. And so my wardrobe choices and things like that kind of gave me a boost of confidence. So I would definitely say that if you are someone who is at a point in their lives that you're struggling with confidence, get out there and start shopping for clothes that you feel like bring out the best parts of yourself. If you love your lips, girl, get some nice different color shades of lipstick, lip gloss. I don't care. If you love your eyes, play them up with your makeup. If you love your hair, do fun and funky stuff with it. If you love the way that your body is shaped or whatever the case is, start to play up your attributes that you really love, that you enjoy. And the rest of everything else that you may not love and not enjoy so much will kind of fall into place, you will find. And even though I feel like there's one day that goes by that I'm not learning something about myself, whether that be good or bad, I recognize that I have to love myself and I have to appreciate everything about myself at the very get-go. And by doing that and giving myself permission to love myself, it allows other people to say, hey, this person has a sense of confidence that no matter what anyone else says or thinks, she knows who she is and she's proud of it. And I want that to be reflected, and it is reflected a lot in my wardrobe. So that's my first tip. Dress to play up attributes and things about yourself that you really love. My second thing would be to spend some time, intimate time with yourself. And I don't mean in any weird way. I just mean get to know yourself, get to know the nuances about yourself, your quirks, the things that you like, the things that you don't like, things that you know that you got to work on. So my next bit of advice is that you really got to start telling yourself that you love yourself, that you appreciate yourself, and don't depend on other people to do that for you. You've got to develop a sense of self-value and self-worth by way of vocalizing that to yourself and telling yourself you're beautiful, you're strong, you're courageous, you can do this. And once you start to really give yourself self-affirmations, or positive affirmations rather, you will find that mentally you will start to see yourself differently, that there won't be as many roadblocks and obstacles when people tell you that you look beautiful or that they find you attractive. You're not then seeking that approval from somebody else because you already know within yourself that you are beautiful, that you are attractive, that you are smart and intelligent, and that I feel like these positive affirmations that you give yourself daily are very key to building your self-confidence. Speaking up, practice doing that on your own. If you aren't a person who likes to speak in open crowds, or you get awkward in new social situations, practice speaking up with a louder voice. Speak from your tummy and project, and don't use a small voice to get your point across, because once you're speaking with authority and with assertion in your voice, people will start to take what you're saying a little bit more serious. And that doesn't mean you need to be mean or aggressive. It just means that you're more assertive in the way that you're speaking and the tone in which that you're speaking in. I would also say that growing up, I struggled with just being a chocolate girl. And it's so beautiful to see so many girls and women who look more like myself in social media, on social media platforms, in TV, in movies, in musicals, and in all forms of art, in sports, and everything of the like. It's so wonderful to see more representation of someone who looks like me, who has my skin, who has my hair texture that I can relate to, that it makes me feel more confident that somewhere, somebody is being a positive representation of what I look like, of the person that I have to wake up to every morning, and I don't have to feel ashamed or awkward or embarrassed that my hair doesn't straighten as easy maybe as everyone else's, that I can't always wear my hair straight, that I have to wear my hair wrapped at night. Like, there's just certain nuances to being a chocolate girl that no one else can experience. And these are things that I'm now grateful for, as opposed to wanting to change. And I feel like we just live in a century where these things are celebrated, and it's just so beautiful to see that there's more appreciation and more value put on women who look like me. And I feel like that has also contributed to my ability to grow in self-worth and self-love in a positive direction. And I also want to talk about a little bit about colorism and how that impacted my ability to discover my self-worth and be confident in who I was. And you heard me say a little bit earlier in the video that I struggled with wanting to be fair. I struggled with wanting to be white. I struggled with wanting to have different textured hair, to have a certain body type, all of which I never had. And God graced me and blessed me with the body that I have, with the person that I am, and the skin that I'm in, not so that I could wish it away, because that won't ever happen, but so that I can use it to connect with other people who may look like me and people who don't, so that I can share my story. And my struggle with colorism came in many shapes and forms. It came in the shape of, you know, struggling to find flesh and skin tone things when I was doing ballet for several years. It came in shapes and forms of not necessarily being the first girl chosen to dance with at elementary school dances, or not being the girl that people in high school paid attention to, or even university. It came in so many different ways and shapes and forms that it was almost like I couldn't escape wanting to look and feel like I was somebody else, and wanting to be lighter, because all that I was seeing and all that, you know, everyone was kind of putting on this platform was girls that looked so dissimilar to who I was. And these were attributes that I could never attain, no matter how hard I tried. And I just had to get to a point, again, by way of seeing more people in the media that look like me, but also having conversations with other people who look like me and sharing in the sense of love and appreciation and respect for our journeys. Did I understand that, yes, you know, I may be darker than some of my friends or whatever the case is, but that doesn't mean that I'm less beautiful or I'm less than for any reason. And I had to stand in that, and I had to not only stand in that, but also hear their truths, because people who are on the other end of the spectrum may also struggle with feeling like, you know, their path was a little bit difficult, being fair, having certain attributes that maybe they felt, you know, other people would be jealous about, or exclude them because they looked XYZ way, you know. And I had to not only become comfortable in myself, but comfortable enough to know that uplifting somebody else doesn't necessarily mean that I am less than. And that's just a truth that I've come across in this life. So all of that said, I hope that there was something that you connected with in this video. I hope that you guys will take this month of love to first love yourself, and pass that love on to all of your friends, all of your loved ones, your significant other throughout the month and going on into the year. Thank you so much for watching, for stopping by, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, and most importantly, for subscribing. I really appreciate your support, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.